What's up, YouTube? Before we get into today's video, are you struggling to grow your brand on social media? Are you consistently posting content without seeing any sales or results? Then you need to grab a free, yes, free copy of my social media growth ebook, The 5 Keys That Took My Brand Sayless Lifestyle from 0 to 500,000 followers in less than 1 year. Grab a copy of that ebook. It'll change your life, change your game for social media. Click that first link in the description to join my SMS list, and then you will receive a link to that free ebook. Plus, if you're looking for a one-on-one mentorship with me to take your brand to the next level, there will also be a link for you to take a survey to see if you qualify for my mentorship program. Now, let's get into the video. YouTube, what's good with y'all, man? Eddie Scott back with another video. I just finished out a workout, so please excuse me. But hey, we got a special episode for y'all today. Special video. I hopped on a podcast with my boy Taye from T-Blade Clothing. It was a great time. Great vibes, gems being dropped from both of us. So be sure to take notes on this video, on this podcast episode. Hey, without any further ado, real quick, leave a like for YouTube algorithm. Subscribe if you're new for more clothing brand, finance, entrepreneurship content. Hey, now without any further ado, let's get straight to the video. Let's go.
All right, so we had chopped it up a little bit, but for those who don't know, I want you to go ahead and introduce yourself and the brand and everything.
Absolutely. So first and foremost, my name is Eddie Scott, co-founder of the Sayless Lifestyle clothing brand. Founded Sayless Lifestyle 2 years, or really going on 3 years at this point. 3 years ago with my cousin Trent. And in that process of growing the brand, you know, we started off with nothing, right? Zero followers, even more important to that, like zero knowledge, didn't know anything about running a clothing brand, running a business. But throughout the process of growing our brand, just seeing the importance of knowledge. You know, knowledge is key, and not just knowledge, but having applied knowledge, because you could know a lot about business and finance and branding, but if you don't take the proper action to apply it, then you're still going to be stuck in the same situation. So over the span of 3 years, you know, just my cousin and I dedicating ourselves to learning as much as possible about our brand, and eventually getting to the point where we became a 6-figure business, over 500,000 followers on TikTok, 80K on Instagram, and just keeping a theme of motivating and inspiring people to do more and say less, as we say, take action on their God-given purpose, dreams, ambitions. So yeah, that's a little bit about me and my brand.
Yeah, well, first off, congrats, man. That's a big achievement. I know y'all only going up, but, you know, congrats on that. So first we're just going to dive into like the social media aspect. So let's say just starting with Instagram, I see I have like a lot of engagement so far. And where do you think that comes from? If somebody's starting off, where do you think that comes from?
Yeah, so this is something I tell a lot of people when it comes to brand building. You know, everybody says they want to go viral. Everybody wants to have a big social media following, but the underlying factor when it comes to growing an audience is value. And I just love using that word, value, right? Everybody's chasing views, but nobody's really chasing value. What value are you providing to your target audience, right? So for example, with Sayless Lifestyle, our target audience is athletes, bodybuilders, people go to the gym, you know, people want to be motivated to be great in life. And so our content provides value in that aspect. And so you see a lot of motivational quotes. The reason why we have 500K on TikTok, myself and my cousin just recording ourselves in the camera, motivating people, right? That's the value that our brand provides. And so when it comes down to increasing your engagement on social media, getting a lot of followers, you know, that all comes as a byproduct of providing value to your target audience.
That's good. That's good right there. Okay, so transitioning from Instagram to TikTok. So I know y'all say y'all are providing value. Can you explain to us what you all were doing at first, and then what the moment, and then like how y'all took it from there once it started picking up?
Absolutely, bro. So it was really a crazy story with TikTok. It's a powerful story because, you know, it taught us, and I use it to teach a lot of people, the importance of creating value in your content. So when we first started our TikTok, we had got to a solid point. We maybe had like 1,000, 2,000 followers, right? But we really grinded for those couple thousand followers for like maybe a year
It took
posting.
just
It
for
maybe took us like a year to get 1,000, 2,000 followers, and we were posting, respectfully, looking back on it now, posting dumb stuff, right? So like somebody like Charlie D'Amelio or like Kabi Lane, like one of these famous influencers, like was doing a certain dance or a trend. Like we would try to do the same thing as long as they had like a Say Less shirt, right?
Say Less shirt.
Just thinking that would be repping the brand. But eventually, like I said at the beginning, going on this journey of acquiring knowledge and like what type of branding and marketing actually works, realizing that when we stop trying to go viral, but instead focus on providing value, that's when everything else is going to come. And, you know, even I'm real big on my faith, right? I believe Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. And a scripture that I love to go by is Matthew 6:33, right? Seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, everything else will be added to you.
Yeah.
And so I just like to use that in business too. You know, if you're focused on just yourself, trying to get money, trying to be famous, you may have it for a little bit, but it's never going to work out in the long term. But when you focus on providing value and blessing other people, you know, through your content, through your business in this case, then everything else is going to come naturally, right? So when we made that decision, we're like, okay, we're going to stop trying to go viral and focus on providing value based on our brand to our target audience. Literally, I kid you not, the same day we made that decision, we posted a motivational video. We had used like some famous rapper that was talking about our brand, about doing more and saying less. Posted it. I was a college basketball player back then, and so posted it, went into practice for maybe like an hour and a half, 2 hours, came back, picked up my phone, and our account literally went from 2,000 followers to 10K. And literally like I dropped my phone. I picked up, I said, oh shoot. And everybody around me was like, yo, like what's wrong? What's wrong? I was like, nothing.
Straight out of practice is crazy.
Bro, my heart was going crazy.
Yeah.
Because it was like we really cracked the code, right? The video had like 100K views, and then success leaves clues, right? And one thing that I tell people when it comes to growing on social media, once you find what works for you, just keep going with it, right? And so we really posted the same style of video. So it would be different people speaking or myself and my cousin speaking, but just the same like black and white filter that we use, the same subtitles, even like the same background music, little stuff like that. And then we just posting like 3 times a day, literally went from 10K followers to 100K followers in less than 1 week, right?
No, that's crazy.
Yeah. And definitely TikTok was definitely popping a bit more back then in terms of they was just handing out views.
Yeah, it was.
The algorithm definitely changed a bit. But, you know, I say all that to say, when you focus on providing value through your content, through social media, that's when the views, the followers will come, because you got to think from the perspective that there's somebody else on the other side of the phone watching your content.
Yeah.
It's easy as content creators and business owners to think from our perspective, like, okay, I'm making this, I think this looks good. But you got to think from the customer's perspective, from the content consumer's perspective.
When shopping, imagine you scrolling through, what do you
exactly? And especially with a platform like TikTok, even like Instagram Reels, people are just scrolling. So what are you going to do that's going to stop that scroll, right? It's got to be something that's valuable to them, that's going to make them stop scrolling, and they're going to invest their time into watching that content. It's got to benefit them. And so, yeah, just thinking from that perspective, that's what really helped us grow so fast.
Okay, yeah, that's good. So going off of making the content and finding content to create, as a brand owner, if they're a new upcoming brand owner and they're like, I need ideas, or if I were to do it that way, what type of content, or where do I get the content from? Where do you get your inspiration from your content, or where do you all find the content to post?
Absolutely. So there's 2 general types of content when it comes to social media, especially for a business, right? There's promotion content, where you are promoting, if you got clothing, you're promoting your clothes or your product or your service, like directly. And then there's value content. And within value content, there are 3 types of value content, right? There's education. You can educate, you could teach somebody through your content. You can inspire, you can like motivate people, you can you know, give a little motivational speech, whatever it may be. And then you can entertain, right? You can make people laugh, cry. Your video can be like very shocking, like a wow factor, right? So like focusing on value content, just focus on your brand and you as an individual. What value do you want to provide to your target audience based on who your target audience is, right? So like I said, Sales Lifestyle, we're in the fitness and motivation niche. Our target audience, athletes, bodybuilders, gym goers, like they don't need motivation, but they really want motivation to be great in the gym. That's the type of content they resonate with the most. And so we're just filling in that gap. We're providing them with that content, and that's what causes them to engage with us. If you have a brand, I think about somebody like Gary Vee, right? Most people know Gary Vee, Gary Vaynerchuk. His target audience is entrepreneurs. People want to make money. People have brands. And so all of his content is based on educating, right? Even like what we're doing in this video here, educating people on how to start their brands, how to market, right? So really understand who your customer is, who your target audience is. And then once you discover how you're going to provide value to them, then you just master that and just keep going.
Okay, so say the people are creating the content now. As far as promoting in other ways, which way did you all see the best? Like either social media ads or doing pop-up shops, or did you all promote through influencers? Which way did you all take that and think it best?
Absolutely. And I'm glad you brought up pop-up shops. I'll definitely say the majority of our growth came from online, from our social media presence, but the in-person experience was so powerful and so key in our growth, because I would say, one, it really gave us that confidence in our brand, right? So like we knew we had a solid brand. We knew our brand message was powerful. But it's one thing when somebody likes a post on Instagram. It's another thing when you're in the middle of Chicago, right, doing a pop-up shop. All these people coming over being like, yo, like this brand's crazy. Like how's nobody made a Say Less brand before? And like, you know, really showing love. And so I would definitely recommend, you know, new clothing brand owners, no matter like how long you've been in the game, if you got a brand, don't be scared to get out on the streets, whether you're doing a pop-up shop, even things like we had a kiosk in the mall where maybe we pay, for us, it was a little expensive, well, not even expensive, but pay like $1,500 a month, right, to get a kiosk in the mall and have our Say Less banner, have all of our merch there. So it's like, even if you just break even and make your money back, even though you'll definitely get a return on your investment, just the fact that hundreds of people are passing by every day seeing your brand, right, in person, that's that brand awareness. They get to come over and talk to you as the brand owner. And so, I definitely recommend being proactive. It's good that I would say like build a foundation online, but you just don't want to rely on online, especially when you're first getting started. Get in the streets, make those connections, because like I said, think from the customer's perspective. An in-person connection is always going to be more powerful than online, just because of the nature of how it is.
So I know you say you did some pop-up shops and everything, but so far with your brand journey, it was more of on social media. So which outlet of social media do you think did the best, like TikTok or Instagram, or which way do you all convert the traction to your site?
Yeah, absolutely. And I would say we learned through our process, right? Just going back to this whole theme of learning as you go along, and you never reach a point where it's like you made it, right? People say like, oh, I want to make it, but you never made it. Like me, myself, like I'm learning new things every day about branding and marketing that I'm teaching other people. And so I would say with TikTok, right? We ran up our TikTok account, 100K, 200K, got to 500K followers. But we didn't necessarily learn at first how to funnel those
convert
viewers,
them to your
convert them to the website, convert them to customers, like we're doing on Instagram, just because they're two different platforms. So even though we had less followers on Instagram, we knew how to post certain content and get those people on the website, build hype on our brand. Whereas like on TikTok, we were just getting a bunch of views. People like knew about Say Less Lifestyle, but it's kind of different when people just scroll and they see something like, oh man, I really love this, and they keep scrolling instead of like, hey, let's get you to come check out our clothing that represents, you know, the content you just saw. And so I would say Instagram for us definitely got us to where we were at. So I would definitely say support and learn from your mistakes, and you know, just post as much as possible on multiple platforms, right? Even one thing that I'll throw out here, this is like a little, I guess you call it a trade secret, because a lot of clothing brands, I don't see a lot of clothing brands doing this, but YouTube is so powerful in today's day and age, right? TikTok, Instagram are great, but TikTok and Instagram are short form content platforms, right? Every
Yeah.
video is between 0 to 30 seconds, 0 to 60 seconds, right? With YouTube, you got 5 minute, 10-minute, hour-long videos. And so, you know, just that length of content, that long form content, it really allows customers and viewers to build that connection with you and your brand on a deeper level than the short form content may do. So, you know, stuff like this, even though we're on Instagram Live, like this is something that you could post on YouTube. I'm probably going to go post on YouTube. Just really letting people know you as the brand owner, build that know, like, trust relationship with you, and then really get to know your brand, come behind the scenes with your brand. That makes them feel more connected, makes them want to buy into your brand.
Yeah, that is one good thing with YouTube and everything. And even with Instagram and stuff, is having somebody record your behind the scenes. Because I know you record, okay, I want to get the shirt and everything, but everyone wants to know the process that you went through.
Right.
So just even if it's going to be a short video or a longer video of just if somebody's taking the pictures, have somebody recording you taking the pictures, and then you'll have more content to post and everything like that.
Absolutely.
I know you're saying on Instagram, for the most part, y'all did the best as far as funneling people to your site. Give everyone a few tips of how you all did that. Like every time I want to get people to my site, we did these steps.
Yeah. And so I would say a lot of our major growth, if I could call it that, like when we hit our stride, came from when we learned how to do paid advertising, right? And so a lot of people, when it comes to clothing brands, e-commerce stores, they just want to jump straight to paid advertising. They just want to start an account and just start throwing money, right? But when you think about it from this perspective, that if you're putting money behind bad content, you're basically flushing money down the toilet, right?
Yeah.
And so essentially, you want to focus first on your organic content, right? And, you know, you're not going to be that great at first. I promise y'all, if you scroll down to the bottom of our Say Less Lifestyle page right now, like we've left our old post, it's terrible. Like to this day, it makes me want to throw up when I see our old content. Like it's so cringe, so bad.
I'll scroll all the way down.
It's crazy. But you know, just progressing. If you're posting one time a day, multiple times a day, every day you're getting better exponentially. And so, you know, once you get to the point where you find and you establish like a brand identity, a brand aesthetic, you really find the types of promotion and value content, like I've been speaking about, that really engage your audience the most, then that's when you can begin to test with ads, right? So basically all ads are the way you should think about it. All ads do is boost your organic content. So once you have organic content that's doing really well, getting you sales, then you just put in money behind it. So, you know, one strategy I recommend, let's say you have a bunch of posts, you saw that, let's say 5 posts did the best in terms of likes, comments, engagement, and got you some orders. Test those 5 ads, put like $5 behind each ad. So you're spending $25 total, right? $5 a day. And then at the end of the day, come back and you can see the results, whether you're a Facebook ad manager, Instagram boost post, TikTok ad manager. Like you can see how many people clicked on this ad, how much did I spend to get this result, how many people ordered, how many people added to cart but didn't convert, right? And whichever one of those is doing the worst, you could cut that out. Whichever one's doing the best, put more money behind it until you get like a few core ads, right, that really perform well for you and are getting you orders. You know, and some of our biggest months, right, we were only running ads on like 3 of our Instagram posts, but just putting like thousands of dollars behind it and running it up. So I would say that really just focus on your organic presence first. And once you establish that, it takes time, but it doesn't really take that much time, especially if you're posting consistently, right? And then go in and put money behind that and test to see what's going to get you the best results.
Yeah. So just to piggyback off of what he said, if you're watching this video now or if you're watching in the future, having the content for them to already see on your page before you start boosting it. Because if you bring everyone to your page and you only have a few posts up, then why would they follow? Go ahead and build your engagement, have something for them to follow you for.
Facts.
Have it there, and then you can start boosting your posts. I did have a few questions from some people that they were saying, so you can do Facebook ads or you can do Instagram boost posts. If you were just trying on Instagram, which one do you think does the best boosting, or doing Facebook ads, or is it kind of the same?
Yeah, that's a great question, bro. So I would say all Instagram boost post is, when you're in your Facebook ad manager, they give you 6 main objectives, right? And so, you know, for clothing brands, basically the only 2 you need to be focused on are traffic and sales.
Yeah.
So all Instagram boost post is a traffic objective, but it's specifically on Instagram. And so that's why a lot of people say, like, oh, don't do boost posts. You got to use a Facebook ad manager.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, every brand is different. Every business is different. Every target audience is different. So you got to test for yourself, right? We found for our brand that it really didn't matter whether we were doing Instagram boost posts or running like a sales objective.
Yeah.
We even found that, like, for most of our ads, just getting as much traffic to the page perform better than like trying to target people for sales who were just more likely to buy. And so it really comes down to testing. And that's a big thing with content and marketing and branding in general. Test. You got to test. You got to test. That's what I have to say. You just got to keep testing. So, yeah.
And then I say, like, test already having like something in mind. Like, okay, I'm gonna look at this one. I'm gonna look at this one. I'm gonna see which one did better, and I'm gonna try to figure out why.
Absolutely.
Instead of just throwing your money. Like, say you did 5 different ads at once, and you didn't really know why, which ones got the engagement and everything. Then you kind of wasting money because some of them might be doing better than the others, and you wouldn't really know. So that's one of the good things. I see y'all have some nice things. I know y'all have wristbands, y'all have hoodies and everything. Y'all have hats and everything. Which item do you think, if somebody wants to go on your site now or in the past, which one you think did the best? If they were like, okay, this is the one I need to get.
Absolutely. So like I said earlier, you know, we only, in some of our best months, we only ran like a couple of ads, right? And so our best seller, it was two items, right? During the summertime, we had a short set, right? So it was like a t-shirt and a short combo, like a fleece short combo. And then we had what we call our performance shorts, which is basically really targeting our target audience, right? It was like a regular shorts, but they already had like the compressions built into it.
Like some side part, the gym shorts.
Yeah, gym shorts, exactly.
Yeah. You're saying,
right. So, you know, our fans really love that and just promoting that. So I'll say those are our 2 biggest items. And that's something I'll say when it comes to marketing your clothing brand specifically, and any brand, you know, whatever product you're selling. A lot of people, especially with clothing brands, because, you know, we're creatives, we're designers, we love to, like, you know, go crazy with the designs and have like 100 different designs. I learned this from Road and Vision, right? Nick and Marlon over at Road and Vision, they're real big. Recommend y'all go check them out. They said if somebody walks in the room right now and they see 10 people wearing your brand, but one person has on, I'm gonna let you explain. I know exactly. And then you feel free to follow up for sure. But like, one person got on a red shirt that got a logo on it, another person got on a blue shirt that got words on it, and they got 10 different shirts. If it's somebody's first time seeing your brand, they're not going to recognize that it's the same brand. But if you walk in the room and 10 people got on the same black shirt with the same logo on it, you're going to be like, yo, like, what brand is this? Right. And so I definitely recommend starting off, like, definitely have a couple items because you want people to buy more on your website, but they should be like all surrounding like a main product, a core product that you have. So that makes it easy for you to promote and push that one product that's based on your brand.
Yeah. Okay. So now that you are doing pretty well, you know, still going up from here, but what was your biggest trial starting the brand, or something that y'all had to struggle with?
Dude, it was a lot.
Get through.
I really feel like, and I'll say, you know, God puts you through tests and trials in life, you know, to build your capacity and just make you a better human being. In business, bro, you know Nehemiah Davis?
I've heard of him before.
Nehemiah Davis. He would say, if you want to have adversity in life, start a business. So, you know, everybody says like, oh, I want to be a business owner, I want to be an entrepreneur. But it's like, once you get in it, like, obviously it has its perks. But like just anything in life has its pros and cons. And so being an entrepreneur, being different from the 99%, like, it's really tough. You go through a lot. I would say if I had to pick one, like when we were first starting off, I hope this doesn't sound sad or anything. You know, like, my cousin and I, like, we have a very close relationship with our family, right? And like to this day, like, family is everything. But I would say family, and in addition to that, like, friends and environment was like a big thing. Right. especially like I said, being an entrepreneur, being different, like putting yourself in that 1% mentally,
Mm-hmm.
you're just naturally going to have backlash and rifts with, you know, people that you grew up with, your family, especially with Trenton, my cousin and I, like
Yeah.
being young. We started a brand. I was in my freshman year of college. Trent was doing prep school for basketball. And
Okay.
so, you know, our parents, grandparents, family was like, oh, like that's cool. You're doing like a brand, but you need to be focused
So
on school
school
and
and
like, you know,
basketball.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you even be focused on basketball and like, you know, there's a lot of initial backlash. And so like it's very easy because nobody can get you like your family, right? And
Yeah.
so it was it was very discouraging at first, right? But
Yeah.
that's why it's so important. I love to say this. You have to put the purpose before the profit, right? So like even bigger than like just making money from your brand and like wanting to do whatever, you gotta have that reason why that's driving you.
Yeah.
Because if we didn't have a strong reason why, we would just be like, all right, like let's just throw in the towel, let's just go like get regular jobs and just like do whatever. But like
Yeah.
we had that purpose, right, to impact other people. And
Mm-hmm.
so even for ourselves, we want to be successful for ourselves, that purpose to make ourselves better. So just going for it every single day, eventually you're going to get to the point to where, you know, at first, if your family may be kind of down, they don't really know how they feel about it. They just,
Yeah.
as we say, you got to work in silence. I don't know if you see this. Work in silence, let your results do the talking, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't like try to convince our family, like, oh, like it's going to be a big brand. Like, you gotta believe in us. We just let them say whatever, and like it may sting at first, it may hurt, but then we
Yeah.
just kept taking consistent actions to eventually get to the point where, you know,
Your actions would do the talk.
yeah,
Wouldn't
actions
have
speak
to-
louder
Yeah.
than words. You know, our family's proud of us. Things like opening a store in the mall, right, and like, you know, just putting on for our city.
Mm-hmm.
Those things would never happen if we were so discouraged at the beginning from what people said about us that we would have given up.
Yeah.
So I say it doesn't matter what anybody says; it only matters what you do. And so definitely make sure you're taking advice from the right people. And like even with family, like they have your best interests in mind,
Mm-hmm.
but especially with something like entrepreneurship, they because they have your best interests in mind, they don't want you to get hurt, right?
Yeah.
So they don't want you to fail. And so they'll say like, oh, just get something secure like a job and
Yeah.
things of that sort. And so at the end of the day, you got to believe in yourself or nobody else will. So I'll
Yeah.
say that was definitely one of the biggest adversities. Like I said, it's definitely a lot I could go through, but I would say that's probably one of the biggest ones, just like mentally and emotionally.
Mentally, yeah. Well, that's good. I know you said you all had opened a store, and can you walk us through like the transition from online to opening the store and just like how
Yeah,
that came about?
absolutely. And so we were online for the first year and a half of our business, right?
Okay.
Eventually, um, I thank God for my cousin Trent, right? Because you know, you can start a brand with yourself, but it's just so powerful having two people or multiple people with you that are on the same mindset, right? Trent tells me this all the time. He's like, yeah, at this point, like we've been in business for 3 years, but it's really like we've been in business for 6 years because it's two of us combined. And
Mm-hmm.
so you're able to bounce ideas back and forth with each other. I
Yeah.
say all that to say, Trent had the idea. He was like, yo, like, let's get a kiosk in the mall, right? And I see a lot of brands doing that now. Back then, like a year and a half ago, I didn't see like any clothing brands having kiosks in the mall. And so,
Yeah.
you know, he was definitely like out there with this thinking, which you have to be. You got to take risks in order to be successful. And so he's like, yo, let's get a kiosk in the mall. And so it took us a couple months to get in contact with a local mall, the leasing manager. Um, Fast forward to February 2022, we got that kiosk inside the mall. And that's really what turned up our brand for real. Because we're doing like decent online. We're still learning.
Yeah.
But getting that kiosk like really gave us that additional capital, you know, making sales every day in person, in addition to online, right? We're just able to like, you know, double our growth essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually pushing with the kiosk, I would say even with the kiosk is like big. We're talking about that in-person connection.
Yeah.
Just even the relationships that you build, like people coming to see your brand. Like if I had $1 for every time somebody would come over and say like, yo, like I seen you on TikTok before, like y'all
Yeah.
brand fire, like I'm about to cop. That's why it's so important to have both. Even like you know, Desi Banks,
Yeah. I know.
comedian,
Mm-hmm.
bro, he was in Buffalo for a comedy show.
Okay.
Trent was at the kiosk running the kiosk. This dude, Desi Banks, comes up to the kiosk and he stops. He looks at it. He's like, yo, he's like, I seen this before. He's like, I seen you
Yeah,
on
yeah.
TikTok before.
That's it,
Come
man.
and spend like $300 on merch. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, stuff like that wouldn't happen if we didn't have that kiosk. So having that in-person location. And then I just kind of transitioned. It was another mall in the area. They kind of came to us. They were like, hey, you guys want to get another kiosk in our mall? And so we were just thinking to get a second kiosk. And then just doing our research with the mall, they had some like actual inline retail spots open.
Yeah.
And so we had done like some of our best months online. And with the kiosk, we were like, let's just go ahead and take advantage, right? That was like a big goal that we had, a big dream. Like I used to go to sleep at night and like I would just be having visions of like having a store in the mall, right? So that was like something that we had to do.
Yeah.
And so, you know, all glory to God, you know, people look at things like that, like having a store in the mall, having all these followers on Instagram and TikTok, and they're like, wow, like you're so successful, like your life must be amazing.
Yeah.
They see the exterior, but they don't see
What
all
you
the trials
went
and
through to get there.
tribulations. They
Yeah.
don't see what you went through
Yeah.
to get to that level. Just like with sports, like they see you hit the game-winning shot. They don't see all the shots you put in the gym. They don't see the 50 other game winners that you missed before that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I do say it's been a great journey. Yeah, it's been a blessing for
To
sure.
have the kiosk or those locations and everything.
Yeah, so we actually closed both of those locations, and like I don't say it to discourage anybody
Yeah.
that's
No.
thinking
Yeah.
about it. Yeah, it was just like in our best interest, especially like with the team that we had. Like even myself, finishing up my senior year of college out here in Chicago, us being based in Buffalo, like it just made things really much easier to just be mainstream, just focus online and go online.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
somebody that was trying to do a kiosk, what is something that you learned after going through the process of opening the kiosk or a store that you were like, okay, before you open it, you should know how to do these things?
Yeah, for sure. I think the biggest thing is just building your brand, honestly, because Myron Golden, somebody that I recommend you guys watch on YouTube too, he says a lot of people in sales, they're always trying to sell something.
Yeah.
It's like you should never be trying to sell something to somebody. You should just create an environment where people want to buy, right?
Yeah.
And so when your brand message is so powerful and engages people, then people are naturally going to come over and want to buy from you. And so I'll say, you know, focus on building your brand. Things like having a banner that has the brand message and meaning behind your brand.
Yeah.
Having a variety of merch. So like I said, you want to have like a main core product that you're selling. So let's say that's a hoodie, right? Have a matching shirt, have matching shorts, matching pants, a hat to go with it, you know, different accessories, so that let's say somebody's going to come over and just buy a $60 hoodie. Now they're leaving out with $170 worth of outfit, right? A full fit, exactly. And so I'll definitely say you definitely want to have, I may say like a couple thousand, maybe like 3,000. It really depends on what the rent is in the mall. But I have a couple thousand saved up so that you can invest into not just the rent, but the inventory, the merchandise in all different sizes. And then, like I said, things like a banner, canvases, you know, things of that sort. But it's really, once you get the hang of it, the kiosk, I think, is the best way to go if you're doing it in person, because it's like so easy to manage. You don't pay for any utilities. You don't really have to get employees. It's just, it's like a pop-up shop every day for real, and people are just coming to you. So, yeah.
That's what's up. You don't have to give any specifics or anything, but let's say somebody, they've been doing their thing on Instagram. They've been talking to people about getting a kiosk in the mall, and they want to do it. About how much money do you think they should save up in a range before they say, I'm going to open the kiosk?
The kiosk, yeah. So like I said, probably around, I say $3,000. Like I said, it all depends on the rent. So let's just say your rent is $1,000, right?
Yeah.
You'll probably also have like, you gotta get general liability insurance, which may be like maybe less than $100 a month. So that's not that bad.
Yeah.
And then I would say you want to have whatever merch you're gonna have it in at least small through XL, right? So small, medium, large, XL. That's 4 sizes right there of whatever designs you may have.
Yeah.
And so basically just get a good idea of how much your merchandise costs, and then do that breakdown for whatever items you want to sell at the kiosk, and then order in that merch. Between things like banners, even like a Shopify card reader, you want to be able to process payments.
Yeah.
Yeah, that may be like an extra $500 to $1,000. So it all depends because each area is different depending on the rent. Each mall is
Yeah.
different. So definitely do your research. But you definitely want to have a couple thousand saved up. And even to give yourself that cushion, in case things don't like work out initially, you're still like building traction at first. So yeah, I'd say a couple thousand for sure.
Okay. We're not done yet. We're almost to that point. But before we finish, what questions do you have for me if you have any?
Yeah, man. So I guess the main question I have for you is I just want to hear like a little bit about how you started your brand and then like what motivated you to want to do podcasts like these, you know, bringing on other clothing brand owners, other entrepreneurs.
Okay. So I started my brand about a year ago, a little bit over a year because I started making the website and everything. But before that, I did photography and I did a little bit of graphic design. And then one thing I always tell people is YouTube can teach you a lot of things. So learn as much as you can before you have to pay everybody, because I save a lot of money as brand owners if you can take your own pictures and everything and stuff like that. But so I already knew how to do both of those things. And then going to the mall every week, I will always want to get something new, but I didn't see anything that I really would want. And week after week, and then it just popped in my head. I was like, well, I can just start a brand. I know how to take pictures. I know how to do this. And that's why I started the brand. And then the name of it is T-Blade. And that used to be the photography name and everything. And then the slogan is Dare to Be Different. And that's to encourage people to step outside of their comfort zone to do things like start a brand, start the thing you've been wanting to do, and Dare to Be Different. And then it's based off of Romans 12:2. And that's do not conform to the world, and then be transformed by your mind. And that's just to encourage people to, you know, do what they've been wanting to do. But that's really why I started the brand and everything.
Man, I love it. I love it. And like that's so powerful to me because, you know, there's so many people that have clothing brands, right?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people, there's a lot of naysayers, a lot of haters who are like, oh, the clothing brand market is oversaturated. Don't start a clothing brand. There's too many brands.
Yeah.
Where it's like every brand is different. Every brand has its own meaning, its own message. And so it's almost like there's not even, I'm not gonna say it's not competition, but this is something I learned from Earl Nightingale. They call him the Dean of Personal Development. He would say you don't want to be a competitor. Don't have competition. Instead, be a creator. Create your own lane. Stay in your own lane. And so everybody has their own brand message, brand meaning, different target audiences. And so like that's so powerful hearing you say that.
And
so yeah, I appreciate that.
What you said, like before I started my brand, I was thinking like, oh, there's a lot of clothing brands, even though I knew I was gonna start and everything.
Yeah.
But then recently, even like I think last month, I posted one of these quotes, and it was like, collaborate and don't compete.
Yep.
Because things like this, we're on a podcast together. Okay, my audience is gonna go to your audience. Your audience is gonna go to mine. There's billions of people in this world. There's plenty of opportunities for every brand, and then every brand has their own unique things that they're gonna bring. So whenever I learn, just don't collaborate. You collaborate instead of competing. Then that's why I've been connecting with local brand owners and everything like that. And then it's just been helping each other grow, really.
Absolutely. And yeah, that's having that abundance mindset right there. Knowing that like it doesn't matter how many other clothing brands there may be out there, having that mindset to want to collaborate with everyone, you know, each one teach one is what I hear people say. And so, you know, as opposed to having a scarcity mindset where it's like, oh, like I don't want anybody else starting a brand. I don't want anybody else to be successful. You know, you're really limiting yourself. When you're connecting with other people, like we're all winning, we're all eating. And so, yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. What else do I have for you? Oh, well, I have a few more questions, but before, I want you to go ahead and tell them again where they can find you and where they can find all your information and everything about the brand.
Absolutely. So yeah, we're on IG Live here. And so you could definitely tap in with my Instagram at SaylessEd. I would definitely say tap in with my YouTube for sure at SaylessEd also, posting a lot about how to start your clothing brand or other e-commerce store and just branding and marketing, social media growth in general.
And if you want to find my stuff is T-Blade and then tblade.org and then T-Blade on most of the social medias, and then maybe have to add an underscore on certain ones. What do you all have next planned coming up for the brand?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say, in all honesty, we've kind of been in a season where I'll call it like a maintenance season lately. And it's something we learn just through growth. You know, you learn a lot of things along your journey
Yeah.
where you have to be prepared for higher levels of success.
Mm.
And so, like one thing we kind of, this is great for clothing brand owners to hear, because at the beginning, you're so focused on, I want to make money. I want to get 100 orders. I want to get all these orders, all these people buying my brand. But it's like once you get there, there's a lot of things you may not see that could rise up. Things like being backed up on a lot of orders. So you're getting so many in, not having enough inventory. And then that leads to people being frustrated, you know, customers leaving negative reviews online, sending dirty emails, you know, things like that. And so I say we're definitely in that maintenance stage of, you know, kind of playing catch up a bit, making sure everything is taken care of on the consumer end, and then really just establishing our systems to be able to take us to that next level.
Yeah. With the way you're talking and everything, I can tell that you're kind of knowledgeable with the stuff since you have to go through it and everything, and it's not like a lot of fluff. So I was wondering, can you explain, like, where do you go to seek all your knowledge, or do you read books, or do you go on YouTube, and where do you go about it?
Absolutely. And so I definitely have to say this first and foremost, foundational for life principles is the Bible, right? I read the Bible every morning. It's a big part of my life. I am a believer. But regardless of your religious background, right, like books in the Bible, like Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, like it's just a lot of foundational principles in the Bible, right? Like, especially if you believe that God created this world that we live in, right? If he created it, then he's going to know how to operate it, right? He's going to know the best way to operate it. And so just studying God's word has been foundational for me and a lot of my wisdom and knowledge. And then I would say that's like general knowledge. And then on top of general knowledge, you want to have specific knowledge, specialized knowledge. And so in this case, entrepreneurship, specifically clothing brands, right? Like you said, YouTube University, YouTube is free, right? And so, you know, I'm definitely all for like investing in courses, mentorships. Like I offer courses and mentorship programs. But like before even all that, go on YouTube, whatever you want to learn, how you need to learn how to ship out packages for your clothing brand, how to ship out packages for your clothing brand on YouTube. And it's like YouTube University is really crazy.
That's a tutorial for everything.
Everything, man. It's crazy. And then I'll say, it's like specialized knowledge, and then like I said, general knowledge. So books like the Bible, Think and Grow Rich, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, you know, things like that are so key in building your mindset, right? One thing I like to say is if you want to start, let's call it a 6-figure business, you can't have a 6-figure business with a 5-figure mindset. So it's all about scaling your mind if you want to scale your brand. And so, building your mindset and then building your skills through that specialized knowledge, even like getting books on marketing, right? Studying other people who do marketing at a high level, right? Success leaves clues. So study from those who have gone before you and are successful, and then just kind of implement it in your own way.
Okay, that's really good. One more time before we go, tell everybody where they can find your information and everything.
Yes, sir. Definitely follow me on Instagram at SayLessEd, and then tap in with my YouTube channel at SayLessEd also. And
then the last thing, I saw you had a subscription service on Instagram, and I also saw that you said you do mentoring. If anyone wanted to get in touch with you about mentoring, how would they do it? And then like a brief explanation of what you offer.
Absolutely. So you could definitely visit my website at eddiescott.co, Eddie Scott, EDDIESCOTT.co. And like you said, I offer clothing brand mentorship, e-commerce brand mentorship. So if you want one-on-one guidance on how to grow your brand, definitely tap in with me there. I have a little quiz on that website that will kind of walk you through the best mentorship program for you. I also do, for my clothing brand owners out there, have an ebook, right, that I wrote with my cousin Trenton, my business partner, titled How to Start Your 100K Clothing Brand. So everything that I'm on here talking about with you, everything that my cousin and I learned through these past 2 to 3 years of running our brand, building it to that 6-figure level, is in that book. So I don't say this, you know, in pride, but you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't go get that book. So like I said, my website is EDDIESCOTT.co, eddiescott.co. And all my stuff is on there on the website, along with my Instagram and YouTube channel at SayLessEd. Okay.
And for another time, if y'all want to find any of my things, it's T-Blade on everything at T-Blade. And then tblade.org is the website. And I just really appreciate you taking your time out your day to come out and everything and drop some knowledge for us. And congrats on all the stuff you got going right now.
Hey, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate you, man. You know, allowing me to be on this podcast. I'm really just having the podcast, like I
Yeah,
said,
yeah,
all
yeah.
of us collaborating, coming together, having that mastermind group, and yeah, just connecting. You know,
Yeah,
it's been
for
a
sure.
blessing for sure.
And in the future, if y'all ever want to collab on anything, like, cause I try to set up things with people or know about things in the city and stuff. So like on the 19th, we're gonna have a fashion show, at one of the local colleges and stuff.
Right.
So just whenever,
Right.
if it ever turns out you're in this city or anything, just tap in. You got my number.
Absolutely. I got your number, so we definitely
Yeah.
will stay connected for sure.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you, man. Wish you nothing but success. Catch you later.
My man.